Hello and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Monday, June the 24th. My name is Eric Wilkinson. Yes, you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC or Fox Business, maybe even the Wall Street Journal. But I'm here to teach you guys some different strategies you can implement into your portfolios, but please do that in your own way. And remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, having that out of the way, we usually get it on with some economic data to kick this off. But guess what? We don't have any because it is a Monday. It's usually pretty light. So not a surprise there. We are going to be getting some good economic data tomorrow, so keep your eyes out for that tomorrow. And then going throughout the week, we have some pretty decent economic data this week. So this should be a week where we get some economic data that will move the overall markets, it looks like. So should be an exciting week. We've got crude oil coming off just a little bit today. We went up and tested that $58 a barrel. We've talked about that time and time again. That is going to be where we start seeing overhead resistance in this market. And we're starting to see that again today. We saw it on Friday and we're seeing it again today right here. As you can see, that lines up with that $58 a barrel. That is acting as resistance. It's been rejected twice now. So two times it's been rejected out of that $58 a barrel. I am still in the camp where I think that we are going to see confirmation in this market start to migrate back down. The overall economy isn't really firing on all cylinders, and especially not really seeing the demand in crude oil to facilitate higher prices at this point. We need an economy that's really starting to crank and start to see these inventories go down, which we are not seeing as of right now. So market's still doing that. The gold futures, now that they're above 1,400, we've seen this right here getting above that $1,400 a barrel area. We traded up and around that on Friday, blasted above there, came back down. Bulls and bears were battling out over that $1,400 psychological level. Like I said, we don't really have any Fibonacci's or anything else to go on right there unless we go back several years to try and find some. I haven't done that yet. I'm just still setting this up on the 3-year chart. So at $1,400 is going to act as support and resistance now. We are above that. It looks like there's no chance we're coming back down unless there was a major sell-off or something coming out of China talking about how they are going to cut back on or actually let the purse strings out a little bit on some of this precious metals that they are kind of hoarding right now due to the tariffs and everything else going on. So that's really driving the precious metals higher. All right, bonds. They are trying to move higher, trying to retrace what we saw yesterday, or on Friday, I should say. Up almost a point now, we're probably 7 ticks away from that, so that can be easily made up relatively quickly. But now that we're above that 155 area in bonds, right here we're talking about with that 155 handle, that was something that was acting as a major resistance where it was being defended by the bears, thinking that, you know, interest rates aren't going to go that low that quickly, which is kind of in the same camp that I'm in. We're seeing that get bunked though time and time again, and bonds continuing to rally. So I've got a couple of trades that I actually let expire worthless according to the bonds. Did not work out, so we'll talk about that when I start talking about my trades here in a minute. VIX pretty much unchanged on the day as we have an inside day pretty much across the board. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up on the day. Now, usually we can get these little chart patterns right here where you get a doji that kind of looks like this, whether it's red or green, and same thing going right there. You get those two kind of counter opposing dojis. That usually is a continuation pattern, okay? And that's really what we've seen right here is something that is looking very much like a continuation pattern, especially if today's doji right there ends up making a new high or really rallying and, you know, finishing up in this level at around 27,000. That is going to be something that we are going to start seeing as resistance as well. I don't think we're going to have enough oomph to get the market to trade up that high today. It almost looks like it wants to trade down a little bit, which could actually make it look like it's going to roll back over if we get a confirmation to that downside today. with some weakness coming through with the equities. Not really seeing any weakness though in the equities today, so I don't know if we're going to be able to see that. All right, NASDAQ up a little bit as well, up just better than 16 ticks on the day, almost 17, and the E-mini S&P is up 6 points on the day. Again, not a whole lot to read from this. Not getting a breakout up to the upside or to the downside, and as you can see here, we talk about the winding up of the rubber band getting tighter, kind of building up on that pent up energy. That's what we're seeing right here with 2 days in a row inside of Thursday's value area as well. So we got the value area here, and we've traded inside of that on the last 2 occasions. So very much an inside day today, not giving us any direction as to, you know, a move to the upside or a move to the downside at this point. And I have not added anything at all. I'm just kind of holding on and waiting for some kind of confirmation as to directionality. TLT is a trade that I put on quite a while ago, well over a month. And if you guys remember, I added thinking some downside move here with really low implied volatility. I got the volatility expansion for myself, but the directionality kind of trumped all of that, especially when you're buying options. So volatility expanding should have helped me with that buying strategy. So I did set it up in the right environment to get that expansion, but my directional move was incorrect, which like I said, superseded that. And I went in and did 2 separate trades on this. One was on the was almost 2 months ago, and went into the June as well and bought the June 121 puts, and then about a week later I came in, and almost actually 2 weeks later I came in and bought the 122 puts. So 2 separate trades in there. The first trade I did was on the 12th, and I bought the June 121 puts in there for about what was that, $1.06. And then 2 weeks later on 4/26 or something, 4/26, I went in and bought the June 122 puts for about 82 cents. Now both of those expired. All right, we went through expiry, they expired, and those were worth 0. So we got out of that for letting those expire worthless. Both of those trades did not work out very well. I still have on the shorts in the in the July. So with TLT in the July, I'm still short the 134 calls that I had sold for originally around $1.02. So $1.02. So hopefully if I can let this one work out, it will make up for the loss there. This one's still not going to be able to be made up with this trade particularly. It might help it out a little bit, but still short those July for that. I believe it's just overdone to the upside, so I'm going to be riding those out. So like I said, I haven't added anything. The only thing I let come off of my portfolio were these TLT long puts that just didn't work out and expired worthless. So that's about it. I set it up according to my rules, which increased my probabilities of success. Like I said, you know, we got into this quite a whiles back, so we got this directional move that was not right, but at the same time we did get volatility expanding on us, which helped our premiums. The directionality, just like I said, that move was just too much to overcome with volatility expansion. And that's all I got for you guys, other than we're going to be doing webinars where we come up with a directional assumption. I'm going to show you how to find the best strategy for your directional assumption and that underlying that you're trading. So check it out at Pro Trader Strategies. We're going to go through all those steps to help you stay mechanical and increase your probabilities of success. All right? If you can't take that, take it easy.